Today we're going to be looking at equations of lines. We first start out with the point-slope form. The equation of a line, when you know the slope and a point, is given as y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1, where m is the slope and x1, y1 is a point on the line. We're asked to write an equation of a line with a slope -2 and containing the point -5, 1. Additionally, they want us to write it in y equals mx plus b form. We know that this is the slope-intercept form, where m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. Using the point slope, we have 1 for our y value, and -5 for our x value. So then we simplify by taking a -2 times x, and we get a -2x. We have a negative times a negative, which makes this a +5, but when we take it times a -2, it becomes a -10. Continuing to simplify, we add 1 to both sides, and we find our equation of a line, y equals a -2x minus 9. Then additionally, we're asked to write an equation of a line through 2 points. Have to do a little bit more work on this one. We have to find the slope. We know we take y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And when we do the work, we get a -5 over 4 for our slope. We can use either point up here. I chose to use the 0, 2. And of course, our slope is -5/4. So we find the equation of the line to be y minus 2 equals a -5/4 times x minus 0. So we take the -5/4 times x and we get a -5/4 x. Adding 2 to both sides of the equation, we find that our equation is y equals a -5/4 x plus 2. A horizontal line has an equation in the form y equals c. Then we're asked to write the equation of the horizontal line that contains the point 8, 1. We simply look for the value that y is and set it y equal to that value. In this case, the line is y equals 1. Write an equation of a line containing the point 3, 4 with undefined slope. Undefined slope means the line is a vertical line. The vertical line has an equation that x equals the x value in the point. So we go back up and we look at our point, and the x value is 3. So the equation is simply x equals 3. Continuing to write our equation of lines, we're asked to write the equation of a line containing the point 1, 7 and parallel to the line y equals 3x plus 8. Well, parallel lines have the same slope, which means our slope is 3. So we use point slope and we put the 7 in and the 1 because that's the point, 1, 7. And we know our slope has to be the same as our equation up here. So it's 3. Continuing to simplify, we take 3 times x for 3x, 3 times a -1 for -3. Taking the 7 over to the other side, by adding 7 to both sides, we find our equation is y equals 3x plus 4. We're asked to write the equation of a line containing the point 8, -3 and perpendicular to the line y equals 5x plus 9. Well, perpendicular lines have the negative reciprocal slope. So here in this equation, our slope is 5. So the negative reciprocal slope for our perpendicular line would be a -1 over 5. So think of this 5 as 5 over 1, and when we flip it, we get 1 over 5. And we have to make it negative. So we're going back to point slope using that point, -3 for y and 8 for x, and our slope is a -1/5. So we continue to simplify and take a negative 1/5 times x for a negative 1/5 x. And a negative times a negative becomes a positive 8/5. Taking the 3 over to the other side, we subtract 3 from both sides, and we find our equation is y equals a negative 1/5 x minus 7/5.